Hello and welcome to Scandinavia House for tonight's book event with the award-winning graphic novel Between Two Sounds with the Estonian illustrator Joonas Sildre, based on the life of the world-famous Estonian composer Arvo Pärt. Joonas is an Estonian comic artist, illustrator, and graphic designer who specializes in biographical books. Between Two Sounds is out now, published by Plough Publishing House, and is available for purchase here tonight. Right now, you need to purchase it in the shop, but during the talk today, we'll bring the books up, and you can purchase them after the book, or after the talk. I would also like to thank our partners at this time, Plough Publishing and the Estonian Ministry of Culture, for making this program possible. Today marks the first of a much larger Arvo Pärt celebration here in New York and worldwide. On Thursday, October 23rd, the Estonian Festival Orchestra, Estonian Philharmonic Chamber Choir, led by Paavo Järvi, will present the program with the music of Arvo Pärt at Carnegie Hall. On Friday, October 24th, the Grammy-winning Estonian Philharmonic Chamber Choir and the Tallinn Chamber Orchestra will make their long-awaited return to New York for a performance, led by Tõnu Kaljuste. And on Saturday, October 25th, Scandinavia House will be partnering up with the Arvo Pärt Center to present the film on Arvo Pärt, Even If I Lose Everything. And this will be followed by a panel discussion with the conductor Paavo Järvi, composer David Lang, and scholar Peter Botenev. And this is not an Arvo Pärt related program, but the 8th annual Baltic Film Festival, New York Baltic Film Festival, will take place here on November 5th through the 9th, and we'll be announcing the lineup soon, probably by the end of this month. And if you don't know, today marks the 90th birthday of Arvo Pärt. And we would like to show a little video taken earlier today at the Arvo Pärt Center in Estonia. So maybe we could send a little special gift to Arvo Pärt and the Arvo Pärt Center from our program this evening. So maybe we can sing Happy Birthday? That sounds like a good idea? Okay, so...
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Arvo. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much. And please welcome Joonas to the stage.
So, hello. I am Joonas. I come from Estonia, so it's other side of the globe, and it's 2 a.m. for me right now. I've done this talk before, but not so early before. So if I slur my words, forgive me. I will talk about how this book became to be. It's a graphical biography of Arvo Pärt up until the year 1980 when he was forced to emigrate from Estonia because of lots of reasons. And well, people ask me questions about the book, how it came to be, why comic, what did Arvo Pärt think of it, and what's the story about, basically. So I am here to address those questions, and I will speak and actually draw. You can see my drawings shortly. Drawing and speaking at the same time is actually almost impossible, but I'll do my best. So while I'm drawing, I might be not speaking, but when I have something to say, then I probably cannot draw. So it's like that. So yeah, so let's get started. So I am born in Estonia, and until up when year 2000, this is year 2000 here, I had not heard of Arvo Pärt's music, at least knowingly that this is Arvo Pärt's music. But what happened year 2000 is that a friend of mine who worked at Estonian radio, he somehow, I guess, he became a fan of Arvo Pärt's music while listening the records in the studio. And when I had a birthday, he made me a record of Arvo's music, kind of self-made, best of pirated CD. And when I was listening this CD, I actually recognized that I know many pieces from that, but I had no idea that this musician is Estonian, so I was kind of ignorant in that way. What happened next is that I became a huge fan of his music. I started to listen it wherever I would go, basically. I had this cassette player or CD player, and I would listen to it in train, in buses, traveling, at home, of course. So basically from 0 to 100 very shortly. And of course, some of my favorite pieces were like Alina and Tabula Rasa and such. So 5 years passed, and while I was having this big sort of Arvo Pärt period in my life, I didn't know anything about his life. I knew he was Estonian, but no other info. Where this music came from, for example. I knew that he lived in Germany, I guess, so, but no other facts, actually. So year 2005 was 75th birthday of Arvo Pärt, and in Estonian classical radio there was quite long radio show of his life, where very good Estonian music journalist Timo Mihkelson had interviewed Arvo Pärt, and many of his friends, co-workers from the past and from today. And it was very big revelation for me, and because it was 15 pieces long, 1 hour episodes, and with lots of content, and of course with lots of music and such. From that I learned many things, and I understood that those images that were forming in my head while listening to this long show could be very well a graphical story or graphic novel, actually. And here I have to explain why graphic novel. It's because at the time I was this young artist, just finished art school, and I was doing sort of short comics for magazines, for exhibitions in Estonia and abroad. And I was kind of searching for a long story to tell, because it is said that short stories for artists is like a snack, but graphic novel is like a good meal. So I was kind of looking for this meal. And while listening to the radio show, I had this eureka moment. And I became almost with the same intensity as I was listening to music. With the same intensity, I was starting to search and gather ideas about Arvo Pärt's life and how to form it into the graphical novel book. So I did sketches, but pretty quickly I realized that I wasn't ready actually for the story. I was still young and I didn't have skills actually to draw. And also there were not enough info to do the story as well as I wanted to do it. So those early sketches I almost all threw away because no skills and no content actually. But I still continued to study his life. There is a director Dorian Supin, who has made many great documentaries of Arvo Pärt's life. He's the brother of Arvo Pärt's wife, actually, so a very close family member. And if you haven't seen those documentaries, I highly suggest to take a look if you like Arvo Pärt's music, because they are a very good insight into his life and like personal doings. I was reading a couple of interviews, of course listening more CDs, but the thing about Arvo Pärt is that he doesn't talk much about his life, so there was no content actually to get those missing pieces that I needed to have the full story. So actually, seven years passed, and I still had only tabula rasa in front of me. And this kind of situation became quite difficult for me. I felt I had this very good idea, but no means to realize this idea. So I was considering this idea as a gift, but yeah, it was becoming quite depressing actually. So year 2012, there was this call for artist residency in Paris. And I wrote the application for this residency. This was like a now or never moment for me, that now it's the time to finally start the process. Before that, I had done this one-page story of Arvo Pärt's life, so it was kind of mixture of everything that I had learned about his life so far. So it's this one-page story, and as you can see, there's notes and quotes of Arvo Pärt. And what happened is that it ended up as a Christmas gift for Arvo Pärt. And the same director, Dorian Supin, was the one who gifted it. And then from that, I had this very huge burst of energy, actually, to go forward with this process. So before I went to Paris, I received a phone call from unknown number, and it was Noora Pärt, the wife of Arvo Pärt. And she had heard about the idea, because Estonia is very small and everybody knows basically everybody. So he invited me over to speak about this idea and discuss. Up until this moment, I had never officially met Arvo and Noora, and when there was some kind of concert, I even didn't dare to go ask the autograph of him, because he was such a huge person to me. So you can imagine how actually terrified I was to finally meet him. So it was quite short notice, and I guess in a couple of weeks we met, and I told everything I had in my mind about the book. I had actually some graphical novels with me also, and they said that they have never ever read a graphic novel before, so they didn't know actually what it was. But I had some very good examples with me of very famous and good graphical novels, and to my big surprise, they said that we are going to help you to complete this book. And actually, up until this day, I'm not actually sure why they decided to do it. I can only guess because Arvo Pärt has said that he doesn't want like a written biography of him ever, because it's not about him, it's about the music. One guess is that it's a art plus biography, so that's why they decided to go along with it. But I actually never have asked that directly that what was the main reason that they decided it. And actually on the same afternoon we went to the Arvo Pärt Center, which was at the time, it wasn't actually, the building wasn't built yet, so it was basically a house full of materials about Arvo Pärt's life, and there were like boxes full of papers, and here I'm looking at photos from that have been scanned, and Arvo Pärt is explaining what's those photos are about. So suddenly I had access to this huge amount of new material. So finally I went to Paris, and I got to spend there 3 months just only working with the script of this book. So I had this huge amount of materials that I gathered. And this is one photo from my studio wall in Paris, where I glued the pages of the book, or actually the script of the book. So each of those small papers here represent one page of the book. And I guess there was more than 300 pages at the moment. It was quite high, so I actually had to climb to draw on those upper pages, and have this table also to help me. So coming back from the residency, I started to work with the pages on my computer, and this work became digital, so I mostly work with similar digital devices. And our family has 4 children, so it wasn't so easy anymore to have this alone time. There's one missing here. So it's 2014, and I've been working with the script almost over a year, and I went to meet Arvo and Nora. So they read the script, and what came out is that even the archive of Arvo Pärt Center had lots of urban legends, basically, about Arvo Pärt. There was lots of false information in the archives, and this information had also transformed into my script. So they were asking that what this scene is about, or what's going on here actually, so they didn't recognize some of the events. Yeah, there's many legends about him, because as he doesn't speak about his life people start to make up things, basically. And what happened is that I had to actually throw away almost half of the material because it just didn't have the correct information. But they said that it's okay, we will help you to finalize the book anyway. And we decided that we have to go through all the episodes that I wanted to show in the book, and we need to meet and discuss those episodes and figure out how to make them as accurate as possible. So I think from 2015, the actual process of making this book as it is currently started. So we went over all the things that were happening in the book, in his life during the time, and he would tell me also things that he remembered. And my job was to figure out how to show it. So yeah, we're basically going over each sentence and each comma in the text. But of course, I felt a burden because I realized very well that I have this unique material, and it's my job to make it as readable and as understandable for wider audiences as possible. So this is a photo from my home studio in Tallinn. These are the printouts of the more finalized pages several years later already. And I would still change things during this process. Perhaps I would cross out something, move pieces of story to other places, and add new content constantly. And those meetings with Arvo and Nora, these were, of course, very interesting and very precious for me. Sometimes Arvo Pärt would just try to explain something with music, so he would go behind the piano and play something. And Nora was also there, and she was laughing that, like, we would understand what he meant with that. It's that Arvo Pärt is thinking so much in terms of music that often he has trouble to explain himself with words. And sometimes he would remember something and have this very valuable addition to the book. Actually, after we finished the book, Nora said that her only regret about this process was that we didn't record those meetings because Arvo was remembering and talking about this past, and it was this kind of unique moment to capture those things. So when we were taking a break, we would walk by the sea that's close to where they live. There is this tree, actually, that's also in the book. It's very old. and very characteristic tree by the sea. So if you ever happen to visit Estonia and Arvo Pärt Center, I suggest to try to find this place because it's close by the center. And we would of course drink lots of tea during the process. While I was doing the book, I also visited a monastery in England, in UK. And in there, I actually felt that although I had lots of information about Arvo Pärt and how he's thinking and about his music, when I stayed in the monastery, I could understand him as closely as I can, because this monastery is so full of what Arvo Pärt is about. And he has said that in this monastery he has found his best friends after he emigrated from Estonia. This monk here, it's monk Sophroni, he was his best friend, as he said. And there's this quote that the same monk said about Arvo Pärt and his music, that Arvo Pärt is the artist who has been able to break through, basically through brick wall. And he was referring that many artists actually, they build up their skill and they are stopped somewhere in their progress, but Arvo is one of the few that has been able to go through the wall. So now it's year 2018, and during this year Arvo Pärt Center was going to be opened. So I guess the building of the center started around the same time when we started to make the book, and so we decided that we have to finish the book at the same time when the center will be opened. So actually, at the beginning of the year, we realized that now we are in a hurry. So the editor was added to the process, and we started to communicate basically daily to fix the final details. And I think just a couple of days before the center was going to be opened, the first Estonian edition of the book came out. So here's a couple of pictures from the presentation of the book. And down you can see the Arvo Pärt Center. So it's a very special building built inside of the woods, and the trees are actually growing inside of the building. So it's a very special place near Tallinn. And yeah, Arvo Pärt was also signing the book. And I guess he was pretty happy with the outcome, except one thing. So after we had finished the book, I guess a couple of months later, we had this social gathering, and Arvo Pärt invited me over and took out some photos. And these were photos of Noora Pärt. And he said that perhaps you can take a look again at those photos and maybe you can draw her more prettier. But Noora was also there and she took away the photos and I never got to do it. So I also asked from Arvo that what he was thinking about this whole process. Because the time period of this book is this quite difficult Soviet period, and it wasn't easy and pretty. And actually, at first, I got the feeling that he didn't want to remember it at all. So he was thinking for a while and then said that he's actually happy that he got this review of the time, because all that period for him felt like a swamp, going through a swamp or like a wetland. And he was basically jumping blindly, never knowing that whether his feet would land or would he just drown. But now, looking back at the time, he realized that God had made those dry spots everywhere. So he would jump blindly, but always would land to a dry spot. So this was his conclusion of the book and the period. And I guess overall I feel the same, because this period has been quite magical and fulfilling for me. And there's lots of translations right now. I think at the end of this year there will be 10 different translations, and next year coming more. So I just get to travel and speak about this process, speak about Arvo, meet fans of Arvo Pärt's music, and do gatherings like this. So this period has been almost 20 years from the idea to this day, and I guess it's been a journey. So thank you for coming and listening to this very late night review, and I hope we can chat more when you come to the table, and I will be signing there. And I guess we will do question and answers right now.
Yeah, so please wait for the mic if anyone has questions.
Thank you.
We can all, oh, okay, good.
Is it on? I guess so. Maybe you described it, but I can't remember. How did you get so interested in Arvo Pärt's music? I can't remember how you were introduced to it or where you found it.
Yeah, well, the first introduction was through this gift, and well, my usual musical taste at the time wasn't classical music. I was listening rock music, electronic music, experimental, mainstream, so lots of different things, but not classical music. So I guess I was a bit skeptical at first, but I listened more and more and more, and I realized that I actually like this music, not other music. So yeah, from that I started to gather more his music, buying CDs and finding it from everywhere I could get it. And it was this very intense, maybe 5 years period when I was just constantly listening to Arvo Pärt's music, and it became such a big part of my life, going through different life events. So I got married to Elina, who this book is dedicated to, and we were starting our life, so it became part of this journey for me. Yeah.
Thank you so much. This was a really wonderful, really unique presentation. So thank you for sharing that with us. Two questions. One is, how do you think Arvo came to better understand and appreciate your creative process, having never even read a graphic novel and then suddenly working with an artist like yourself? How do you think, from a musical background, he came to understand your artistic practice? And similarly, what did you come to understand about his musical, artistic, creative practice? And also, other question is just how you got him to open up more and participate so fully in this this biographical experience. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well. What I realized pretty quickly when I was talking with Arvo and Nora, that they are artists, so they are very open to different art forms, whether it's dance, performances. Arvo Pärt himself has done performances back in the 60s and 70s. So it wasn't about the format I was working in. They were pretty happy with the format. They didn't have this is children format or Mickey Mouse or something. They were trusting me to do what I do and just go along with it. I'm not sure what they learned from my process. I remember an episode when Arvo Pärt was trying to kind of show me that maybe this picture could go here, or maybe this scene maybe we could change this scene. But again, Nora was beside us, and she said that, or actually shouted at Arvo that, don't compose. Because Arvo Pärt has to compose his music, not comics. And so it went that they never had artistic directions for me. Sometimes they would say that if they liked some parts, for example, in the middle of the book is this very light part where Arvo Pärt gets lost in the notes and basically drowns, and it's a story of from the Bible with Jonah and the whale. And while I was doing the book, I would show it to friends. They would comment different parts of the book, and somebody was commenting that maybe this part is not good and maybe it gets too abstract, and so I took it out. next time I met Arvo Pärt, he was browsing the script and asked that, where is this good part? So I put it back in. What was your last question?
Just how you got into engage so fully in this process. Tell us how you were this confidence.
Yeah, it was about music. We decided that the main focus of this book is about music and finding the musical language. So Arvo always likes to talk about music, whether it's his music or music in general. And when we would go through a specific piece, like I remember we talked about Credo, then while Arvo Pärt usually was just sitting or adding a few comments here and there, he would just start talking, like, I don't know, he spoke maybe half an hour about the ideas behind Credo. And yeah, I had never heard this philosophy behind that piece. So yeah, he would always speak about musical things. And I also remember once I asked about the room setting, because I need to draw things. So I asked about the apartment, and I felt that he got a bit annoyed because it wasn't important. So everything around him, the physical things, it's never been too much importance for him. So yeah, it was like that, I guess. Another one, yeah.
I have a two-part question. The first part, you said you didn't meet him until 2012 or 2014, right? Yeah, it's around after 2013. And I was just wondering, were you planning to meet him? Because it sounded, the way you made it sound, it wasn't planned. So did you plan to meet him because you were writing this quote-unquote biography? And then my second question is, have you done a biography before, or are you planning to do one again in the future?
I guess my general idea was that I would show this story after I've completed it. Or try to find the connections to him. I think I never dared to ask them before, or didn't try to get those connections. But yeah, it somehow came together. Like again, Dorian was the one, I think, who introduced us. So yeah, again, Estonia is 1 million people, and we know everybody. The daughter of Dorian knew my wife Elina and me, and through that the connection came to Dorian, and to Dorian to Arvo Pärt and Nora Pärt. So yeah, we got introduced that way. And I've never done a biography before, but I've always liked biographical stories. When I was buying books in my youth, I always checked it if it's like real story, because I think it's my own opinion that real life is almost always more interesting than made-up stories. And I've done one biography after this one. It's about Estonian painter Konrad Mägi, and I'm trying to do another one about Estonian writer Tammsaare. So hopefully one day I will have this 3-part graphic novel collection of a musician, a painter, and a writer of the top of Estonian culture. Any more questions? Yeah.
Do you always work in such a limited palette, or did you choose that to reflect his music?
For this book, I chose it because of music and also because I like this very monochromatic palette. Line drawings and black and white has always been my thing, and then it's fitted very well with this project. But with the painter book, I had to use colors, and it was quite difficult for me, and I struggled a lot with the colors, because I think for artists, you're either a black and white person or a color person, so I'm a black and white person.
Joonas, thank you for this evening. I just wanted to tell you, I hate to embarrass you, but I admire what you've done a very, very great deal, both artistically and personally. Because what you've done artistically is more than a simple biography where you have a drawing of a bus, a piano, a conservatory. You've somehow managed to artistically depict a creative process, and specifically a creative and inner crisis with geometrical figures and lines. It's very, very special, and it kind of expanded my idea of what is possible to do through a graphic novel. But I also admire what you've done on a personal level, because in some respects it would have been easier for you to write about an artist who's no longer living. You would have your own freedom, you can do your own research, and just, but you submitted yourself to, in this very, very respectful and obedient way, to Arvo and Nora, which is all, of course, a great gift. I mean, you'll never forget those hours with them, but it's also, I mean, all those pages you had to throw away, all of the, you know, I know from experience, it can be very challenging, but I'm sure you would not trade it for anything in the world. So I just wanted to express my admiration for the project.
Thank you.
Well, maybe we turn it to a more informal setting now. So thank you so much, Joonas, for this wonderful illuminating talk. Thank you, Plo Publishing, and thank you, the Ministry of Culture, the Estonian Ministry of Culture. Plo has provided a small nibbles and wine for us to enjoy, and you can purchase the books over there. And I do hope we'll see everyone at one of the many Arvo Pärt programs in New York, happening in October, and at the Baltic Film Festival in November. So thank you again, Joonas, and thank you everyone for coming.